Hello, everyone, and welcome to I Am a Dose Woman. As promised, today I will be sharing curry coconut vegetable stew, one of my recipes. And remember, before you make any changes to your diet, consult your healthcare professional. I had made this recipe before, but since I am sharing it with you guys today, I had to remake it and this time do it with videotaping as well as writing the recipe out for you, or at least the ingredients, and you can follow along. This is my genetic makeup. I would like to share that with you so that you can see what my heritage is, and I am very proud of it, and you should be proud of yours as well. Okay, let's get right to it. This is organic olive oil, and this is the basil leaves as well as the carrots, and I use about a third cup of the organic olive oil, and I'm just sauteing the carrots in there. And then you can use the ramen rice noodles, but I happen to have some leftover spaghetti, so that's what I use, and you can do it too. But I'm just showing you that I try to use as much as possible organic ingredients, and these are my mixed vegetables. They were frozen, and those are my peas. I had gotten those separate because there was no peas in the bag, the vegetables that I had. And this is just a can of organic coconut milk. You can use whatever brand you like. And these are the vegetables. I added those in after I sauteed the carrots first because I just wanted some extra carrots. And that's what I'm doing right now, just sauteing those in the pan with the carrots. And just stir that in pretty good. You want to make sure it gets cooked pretty good, because the last thing you want to do is bite down on some vegetables that's not cooked. And then the other ingredients you're going to want to have on hand is powdered celery seed powder, oregano powder, or coriander powder. And right now I'm just throwing the onions in. I'm going to saute those in there with that too. And also you want to have some brown sugar, a tablespoon of brown sugar. And you can mix those dry ingredients, onion powder, coriander powder, celery seed powder, garlic powder, and just mix those in there for later. And you're going to see me tossing those in there. But I'm just making sure that these vegetables are really stirred in there, and get those onions in there so that you can saute those pretty good. And just keep mixing it. It really only takes about maybe 30 minutes to cook. Now there I am, I'm putting all those dried ingredients in there. And don't forget your curry as well. And you can season it to taste, and that's basically what I do. So probably start it off with like a teaspoonful of those ingredients. And that's the curry, celery seed, coriander powder, garlic powder, onion powder also. And then a tablespoonful of brown sugar. And you just mix those ingredients in there. And then once you get those mixed in there pretty good with that seasoning. And also, I like spicy things, but my husband doesn't, but I like spicy things. So what you might want to do is also add some cayenne pepper. I'm adding the red bell pepper in there last, or the red peppers in there last. I don't want those to overcook. That's why I add those last. You can add them in there, whatever suits your taste, but I like to add those in there last. As you can see, those peas, look how colorful that is. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm continuing to mix. And then once you get everything mixed in there and you pour the coconut milk in there, and that's when you let it saute all together so that that seasoning can get in there really good. And you want to let that cook for another at least probably about 15 minutes. And I decided to also have salmon on the side. I don't eat a lot of meat, but when I do, I eat like a salmon. Give myself a treat of that every now and then. Other than that, that's about all the meat that I do eat. Look how good that is. And of course, I've already tasted it. Not tasted it as I go, but I've already had the meal, but I'm just gonna let that simmer there. Look at that. Isn't that just, you know that's gonna be good. And then you add the basil in there last. So use fresh basil. There's nothing like fresh basil, and that just gives it that flair that you need. Just a different taste. The curry and that basil together, and also that brown sugar. And that's probably optional, you know, if you have diet restrictions and things, you don't necessarily need that. And then you might want to throw a little bit of salt in there. But if you have restrictions, you don't have to use all the ingredients. These are just starter for you to try it. And season it as you like. I cook by scratch. And the only reason I started learning to write things down is because people were asking me for the recipe. And there was a little steam coming up there. And then these are the salmon that I did on the grill. And you're looking at the plates that I have. Doesn't that just look delicious? And I cannot tell you how great it tastes. And like I said, instead of using the rice noodles, I used my spaghetti because we had leftover spaghetti, and instead of just wasting the spaghetti that I had, I decided to use that. I don't have a lot of trash because of the way that I eat, so I don't have a lot of trash every week. And definitely whenever you can save or stretch a meal out to another one, then do so. That's what I do. And you're looking at the bowl right there, that big bowl. I'm not eating all that. I just took it out of the pot and put it in there. And if you like, you can probably pause it and write down the ingredients. Now, I do not have the olive oil on here, but you saw that I did use the olive oil to saute the carrots. And that just gives it a different, I just did the carrots because sometimes it takes longer for them to cook. So that's why I did those first. But if you decide to use this recipe, definitely do a like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you. And hopefully you come back for other videos because I'm going to be sharing some other great recipes. Thank you, and be sure to come on back now.